everyone, and welcome to another obscure Asian story. Recently, the BBC and New York Times reported on a disturbing case. A Chinese woman said she was arrested for writing gay erotic fiction. She shared that police forced her to strip in front of others and took her away publicly. Since February, over 30 Danmei writers, mostly young women, have been arrested across China. Many more have been questioned by the police. Most of these writers posted their work on Haitang Literal City, a Taiwan-based website known for romantic and often explicit stories about male-male relationships. The genre is inspired by Japanese boys' love manga and has a huge fan base in China, especially among young women. Danmei is a Chinese version of BL, boys' love stories. These usually start as web novels and can be very long. While romance is often a big part, Danmei also explores deeper themes like friendship, society, family, and personal growth. During the 2010s, BL stories helped launch hit dramas and major celebrity careers in China, but as the genre got more popular, it also got more attention from the government. State media criticized Danmei for being vulgar and claimed it could harm young people. In response, TV censors banned BL shows and LGBTQ+ content more broadly. The Chinese government says these writers broke pornography laws by producing and distributing obscene material. Writers who made money from their stories could face over 10 years in prison. Meanwhile, straight erotica is often left alone, even if it's graphic, highlighting a clear double standard. Some Danmei writers are still in jail, others are out on bail or waiting for trial. Over 150 people have contacted lawyers for help in just 2 days. One lawyer said even readers are being questioned by police. Another said a crackdown led by police in Lanzhou might be overstepping legal boundaries, calling it offshore fishing. The impact on writers has been huge. Many have shut down their accounts after going viral. One woman said she used to be seen as a good girl, but now feels like she's shamed her family. More cases like one involving a graduate student are under investigation in Gansu province. Writers are stuck between government surveillance and platform companies that don't fully protect them. Unlike platforms like Xinjiang, which cleaned up its content to follow government rules, Haitang let writers post more explicit daring work. But even though its servers were in Taiwan, that didn't protect its users. When the crackdown hit, Haitang shut down accounts slowly and only communicated vaguely. Writers and readers felt betrayed. This situation reveals a deeper problem. Danmei creators are caught between censorship and capitalism. Platforms profit from their work and data but offer a little support when trouble comes. Writers hoped they were safe publishing outside of China but still got caught. Even with all the risks, some writers refused to stop. One author said, "This is how I find happiness." For many women, Danmei, with its fantasy settings, emotional depth, and even themes like male pregnancy, offers a creative escape from daily life. Some Danmei stories have come under fire for including violent or extreme scenes. Critics also worry about underage readers getting access to this content, especially in a country where content filters are weak. Even writers admit that the community needs to do more to protect younger audiences. But there is more going on behind the scenes. China's government is tightening its grip on media and culture. As the country faces falling marriage and birth rates, authorities are pushing traditional family values. Danmei, often seen as going against these ideals, has come under increased scrutiny. Back in 2018, one Danmei author got 10 years in prison for selling 7,000 copies of her novel Occupy. The current crackdown feels like a repeat of that, but even harsher. Even those with minor involvement are being punished. Some writers said they barely earned any money, yet their small profits are still being used as criminal evidence. There's a growing belief that local authorities may be using the crackdown as a way to make money. The term fishing in distant seas has been used to describe how police are targeting people outside their own regions, possibly for profit. China's property crisis has hurt local budgets. As land sales decline, some local governments are relying more on fines and asset seizures. National tax revenue fell 3% last year, but income from fines jumped 15%. Since June 2024, police in Anhui province alone have arrested over 50 Danmei writers across China. One well-known writer got more than 4 years in prison and had to give up all earnings, 1.8 million yuan, around $250,000, plus pay an equal fine. Others have posted online asking for donations to pay legal fees or medical bills. Some families have even gone public pleading for financial help to reduce their loved ones' prison time. This crackdown has sparked heated debate in China about artistic freedom, gender norms, and the role of the state in moral policing. One law professor from Tsinghua University, Lao Dongyan, posted, then deleted, a message questioning whether authorities care more about social morals than actual justice. It's hard to know exactly how many writers have been affected because of censorship and fear, but reports suggest that up to 50 authors were arrested in Gansu in just a few weeks. Two lawyers say they were representing several of them, including a graduate student. People are also worried that this wave of arrests is being used as a new way to generate income for debt-ridden regions. In both Anhui and Gansu, authors were arrested by police from outside their home provinces, adding to the suspicion. China's obscenity laws are extremely vague and outdated. Any work that explicitly shows sexual acts, especially if it earns money or becomes popular, can be punished harshly. In extreme cases, the sentence can be life in prison. While straight erotica is sometimes targeted too, gay content is being hit harder. A government-linked group even listed homosexuality and other sexual perversions as obscene content, language that many see as discriminatory and outdated. There are also big problems with how these cases are judged. The amount of illegal income that triggers a serious offense hasn't changed since 2004. In 1998, 150,000 yuan was a lot of money. Today, it isn't. Critics say this causes unfairly harsh sentences. For comparison, a corrupt official would have to accept 3 million yuan in bribe to get a similar punishment. This raises big questions about fairness. China still uses the rules from the 1980s to decide what counts as obscene. These rules list things like homosexuality as examples, clearly outdated by today's standard. Right now, the police or publishing regulators who may not understand art or literature decide what's obscene. Many argue this should be done by a panel of experts, including writers, scholars, and members of the public. It's important to understand writing a gay novel isn't automatically illegal in China, but writers do need to be careful. If a story includes content that's seen as illegal, obscene, violent, or infringing copyright, the author could face legal consequences. Writers should make sure their work is original and follows Chinese laws to avoid these risks. That includes staying within content guidelines and avoiding anything that might be seen as breaking the rules. The recent crackdown has exposed just how fragile trust is within the Danmei community. While some fans and writers stood by those arrested, offering support and donations, others backed away in fear. Some even publicly criticized the authors. What used to be donation drives showing solidarity are now being met with suspicion and even accusations of fraud. This tension shows how government pressure doesn't just criminalize queer writing, it also breaks down the sense of community. Writers have gone quiet, disappearing from public view to stay safe. This silence, withdrawal, and caution reflect a broader pattern in China, where people often avoid conflict by staying quiet. But this silence doesn't mean the community is dead. The 2024 Haitang incident reminds us that Danmei isn't just about resistance or fantasy. It's something more complicated, shaped by fear, hope, repression, and the will to keep going. The ugliness here isn't just what the state finds offensive. It's the very thing that helps Danmei endure. It makes the genre a space where people can still express themselves, even in a highly controlled society. In fact, what the writer calls ugliness isn't something bad. It's the friction, the messiness, and the contradictions that keep Danmei culture alive. Ugliness, in this sense, is a creative and political force. It pushes back against control and survives by constantly adapting. Despite the crackdown, Danmei remains incredibly popular. Its emotional depth and focus on male-male relationships speak to many readers, especially women, as a quiet rebellion against strict gender roles and limited sexual expression. With over 275 million people reading online fiction in China, Danmei has a huge audience. Platforms like Haitang Literal City, which is based in Taiwan and allows explicit content, have become a haven for these writers. To avoid censorship, some authors have rewritten their stories as platonic romances. Others post on overseas sites like Haitang, which can only be accessed from China using VPNs. Still, even that hasn't fully protected them. Many of these writers who were arrested had published on Haitang, including students and lesser-known authors from places like Jixi, Anhui, and Lanzhou, Gansu. Most of these writers aren't famous. Their works haven't been translated or turned into comics, and yet, while the government cracks down on them, it continues to promote shows like The Untamed, a hit drama based on a BL novel. This double standard makes the crackdown feel especially hypercritical. China keeps its rules around publishing vague on purpose. That way, anything even slightly controversial, whether it's about LGBTQ+ themes, politics, religion, or even time travel, can be considered risky. The goal is to keep creators unsure and afraid. The laws used to charge these writers are decades old. They don't reflect today's values around sexuality, art, or freedom of expression. Meanwhile, crimes like bribery are judged more flexibly. Writers can get 10 years for selling fiction, but a corrupt official might need to take millions in bribes to receive the same sentence. This case and others like it shows the urgent need for China to update its legal system. Definitions of obscenity, content standards, and sentencing rules must be brought into the modern era. Until then, writers will continue to face unfair punishments and creative freedom will remain under threat. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time and thanks for watching!